Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chef again, and I wanted to make a video today, basically with a few questions that people had in the through the Instagrams, the Discords, and some of the YouTube, um, comments. People are asking about the futures. Um, what futures do I look at, and how are they used, and what are they used for? So I just want to make a quick breakdown on this, and give you my perspective and basically how I utilize it, to my advantage. Um, so first and foremost, the futures, these keep going from Sunday once they open. They trade overnight, basically after hours and pre-market. And what it is just basically, they consistently keep trading, and a lot of the effect, the Euro markets, and then um, the HK markets, out there, all the other markets are, also bringing some sentiment into the futures, which is /ES, NQ, RTY. You're looking at things like gold, oil, and things like that. So just to put that down for you, /GC, and then /CL. So this is your gold, and then your oil. Now, I have oil and then I have gold, so I can basically gauge into the market as to what is moving. What's the sentiment out there like, and what are people actually investing in? Because there's a multiple ways of investing and multiple ways to gauge in on, where the market's going to be leading. And with that, you want to be able to look at the futures, because that's where a lot of the movement happens. A lot of the sentiment comes from there, because you got to remember that you can't keep track of each specific stock. Okay, for example, let's start with SPY. I know everybody trades SPY and everybody's consistently charting SPY, and it's just, it's a liquid stock, and it's hot basically. So basically, it's called the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 has about a basket of 500 stocks. Okay, there's certain stocks that carry more weight, and I'll let you guys go and do some homework on that. Like what carries the most weight for SPY, what carries the most weight for NQ, and for IWM. That's something you guys have to research, but also, understand that each ETF has a basket of stocks. So there's a handful that we honestly cannot watch all of them. So how are you supposed to gauge in the market sentiment? Well, the market sentiment comes from SPY, okay, which is the future. This is the way you want to look at it, is like this. This is Big Daddy, and this is the sun, right? Usually wherever dad goes, the sun follows, right? It's the way you want to look at it. So when it comes to charting, I only chart /ES because it's the most important thing. And it's like this. If you have a book and you go buy a brand new book from a store, you're going to have all the pages, meaning you're going to have all the data. You're going to have the complete story of that book, right? When you go to SPY, you're not going to have the complete book, right? Because you're going to have some missing pages. You're going to have gaps. You're going to have, one step behind. That's what it is. SPY follows ES, okay? ES is the future. This is the market sentiment, okay? Same thing for NQ. The same thing goes for QQQ. QQQ, and then the other one, SQQQ. These are like inverse, okay? Inverse ETFs right here. Basically, when one goes up, QQQ follows NQ, and as NQ goes up, SQ comes down. So you can see this, how perfect the direction is. Staircase pattern up, and then here staircase pattern down, but it matches NQ. Okay, so how are you able to trade both of these? You can legit be in both of these plays. You can be in puts here and calls here while this is going up. If this decides to turn around, guess what? You do the opposite now. You're in puts here, right? And then you're in calls here. Again, you don't have to go and trade Microsoft. You don't have to go and trade Apple, with NQ. And all you got to really do is trade, QQQs, basically the Qs, and you make money off these because you honestly can't watch every single ticker under the tech sector. You really can't. If you if you can, congratulations, but I honestly cannot, and I cannot set over 500 alerts. I can barely deal with about 100. If you ask anybody, that's usually the amount of alerts that I have, but that's because I have multiple and I want to stay alert on all my futures and a lot of the stocks that are moving. And I'm not saying that I'm trading each and every single one, but I want to know when stocks are moving and why they're moving. So at the end of the day, I'll go back and check my alerts. So anyways, um, that's the reason why I chart the futures. Okay, the futures are more important. This is where all the sentiment comes in. Everything else just follows behind. It's just like a little staircase, and that's all it is. So below SPY, you'll have Apple, Amazon, Google. You'll have the S&P 500 underneath, and you have tons of a basket of stocks that, again, you can't watch them all. But how do you gauge in the direction? You use this market sentiment using the futures. Okay, this I only use just to get the contract price because I'm not trading the futures. I'm trading the SPY. So I just come on here and look at 441. I'll say, okay, I think I'm going long today on SPY. Well, I'm grabbing the 441 call, maybe 2 to 3 weeks out. And that's exactly what I'm playing and following ES levels. Okay, so I'll be following the breakout over here. My target's right there, and then my stop loss is right there. Got to trail it and stay in the green. So that is the purpose of why I chart and stay focused on these futures. You want to gauge in on that market sentiment. That's going to give you a better trading edge in the market in general, and you'll be able to determine like where the overall market is going. Technically, today we had a nice green day. We're making all-time highs. Well, you should be going and look at things like Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, Google, Amazon. You want to look at some tech for NQ. You want to go look at the chip sector. For RTY, you want to go look at small cap stocks, right? You want to go look at Plug, Run. Many more out there. You want to look for the financial sector as well, which run a little bit of the financials run with RTY, so that's kind of a good gauge, and also some of the airlines, so you can also remember that. And of course, things like oil and gold. But this is the IWM, so IWM is for the RTY. You just got to make sure that you track the three futures. These are the three that I use mainly. But we also do have other little sectors. So we have another one that I use is XLF for financials, which is the ETF. So kind of like the same thing, same example as I said with SPY, right? You have the S&P 500. You have 500 stocks under SPY. So for XLF is under all this here. So what you're looking for here, like what does XLF carry? You're looking at the financials, anything that has to do with financials. You just want to gauge in that sentiment. That's going to help you. Of course, I want you guys to go do some homework and be more specific if you want specific stocks. I can give you JPM, GS, BAC, and C. Definitely, I'll give you those for XLF. So you guys go do the rest of the homework. See what kind of financials are under XLF. Okay. Another one, another major one that everybody uses is JETS. Which again, you want to look at the airlines, okay? So go look at airlines today and go see, like, why do we have a green candle on JETS? Well, the full sentiment went on UAL, DAL, and AAL. So if you guys start looking at those, you'll be able to use JETS as a confirmation for the market sentiment for you to go long on those airlines. Because now you have a green sentiment market, you have a green tech sector, you have a green small cap sector that's rolling in hot, barely a little behind. And then you have JETS, which is, showing a lot of strength, and it's showing some type of trend change. Look at this. You can literally just go up here, do a little line right here, which, think of it this way. And if you draw the same trend line, everybody else out there has probably the same trend line. So what do you think they're doing? They're looking at this and they're saying, oh, wait, we're above the trend line, guys. Well, let's go long, all right? Now let me show you another ticker, right? That's under this one. Look what happened to UAL today. Broke that trend line. Let me show you another one. DAL, look what it's doing now, breaking that trend line. Okay, AAL, same thing, drop, base, rally. Here's another base and then a rally. So AAL had a solid day, and I've been in AAL for the past couple of weeks. I have 21 calls for February next year. I'm definitely in the money already, so I'm chilling in my position. But again, that is Jets. That's how you want to gauge in with the market and how to use those futures. And that's something that's going to help you in the future in the long run. You can also do it for the Dow Jones. You guys go do research on that. I left some of these things out so you guys can go pursue some homework. Don't just sit here and take my word for it, okay? I want you to go and do some research. Go look at these futures, go see what they mean. Go look at the ETFs and why it's important not to chart the ETF, but to chart the future instead. If you're charting the future, you're one step ahead of everybody else out there, okay? If you're following these little sectors, right? You want to look at another one, which is TAN. TAN is the solar, okay? Anything that you get the sentiment from solar, you're going to look at TAN. You're going to look at JKS, FSLR, and plenty more, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to be able to look at some of these sectors. So TAN, Jets, XLF, and there's also a retail one. So you guys go check out the retail. Go check the energy. Go check all that stuff. So use this to your advantage, guys. This is why it's important, to gauge in the market sentiment. I know a lot of you guys don't have time to be searching out the futures, because you guys are not home, you're working, or whatever the case may be. But also just remember, have an alert. Set an alert. It's a lifesaver. It's life changing. Believe me, I've been through a lot of trading, and what happens is you'll get that same comment that somebody says, "Oh, well, I missed BA run up." Well, you missed it because you never set an alert at the break of resistance. You never set it. So why you even mentioning that? Now that's creating FOMO, right? But if you come in here and you set an alert on some of these futures, you will know that, hey, if NQ is pushing, let me go check. Let me go check Microsoft, right? So you'll go on here, right? And I'm just going on the 15-minute just to give you an example. Microsoft just had a flat day. So anyways, you see NQ riding, right? You see NQ driving up all-time highs, right? Around that same time, what was Microsoft doing? Well, look at what Microsoft gave you. A nice run-up. Gave you a nice run-up, right? You want to go look at another ticker? Let's go look at Apple just because, right? Apple, same thing. Look at that nice run-up, right? Let's go look at AMD. Let's go see what it did. Same thing. Nice little run-up right there. So all you want to do is compare, right? You want to compare the future to the stock that you're trading. For IWM, let's plug. All right, so let's go here. Let's go on the 15. Here's your movement for RTY, and then look at the day that plug had. Same thing. Look at this huge run up, and look at this little fish hook pattern right here. Look at coincidence. Come on, guys. Let's go look at another one, right? Run. This one had the opposite effect. This one actually pumped, right? RTY. So it pumped right at open, and then it came all the way it dropped right back down. But then when this reversed, right? You saw a nice little bottom tail right here on the 15, and then it just reversed and gave you enough opportunity to trade calls. So you're literally using the future as a guidance so you can trade the next stock under that future, under that ETF, under that sector, whatever it may be. And that's how you can use these futures. This is exactly what I do on a daily basis. So instead of trading SPY, right, and you want to trade Apple, okay, you got to make sure that the pattern is similar as well. It's what's going to be, pushing up with it. Of course, Apple had a nice run up at open, and we just kind of stayed flat. But that's normal just because this whole week it's all earnings. So it's kind of hard to gauge in on these. But either way, you still want to get that sentiment. You want to be able to understand what the futures are. You want to be able to understand the difference between that future and that ETF and why the future must be charted versus the ETF. The ETF is not of great importance. It's the future that has more of an importance and impact in the market. That is the sentiment that you're going to capture fully, and that's what's going to provide you with the extra tool to understand why you're taking your trades. Okay, so /ES /ShenQ /RTY. You have the S&P, you have tech, and you have the small cap sector. You also have gold, you have oil, you also have those ETFs, SPY, QQQs, IWM. Anything for oil, you just want to go look at oil stocks. Anything for gold, you want to go look at things like JNUG. So again, I left some stuff out just so you guys can go do some research on these futures. I just basically want to give you an idea of how I use these futures and how you can gauge in that market sentiment and also understand what's better to chart versus, the ETFs and things like that. Again, go do your research, guys. So hopefully this video helped you guys. Hopefully it's giving you guys more tools, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you guys have any suggestions, again, let us know on the Instagram, let us know on the Discord servers, let us know in the comments down below. Whatever it may be, we can definitely help you guys with some more education. So the purpose is to grow. In this journey, you guys all know that it's ever changing, and it's continually educating ourselves to make ourselves better, right? All right, guys, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.